I'm in trouble here. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to another live. This is the world's best live interactive broadcast with the world's #1 problem gambling interventionist, Santos Rolon Jr. out of Stockton, California. I welcome all of you that are going to be here tonight for about 30 to 45 minutes. We're broadcasting. We're going to try to broadcast to TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, but we're only doing those three. So is your seatbelt on? Make sure you get inside. Make sure the door's closed. I don't want you falling out. We're getting ready to go for a ride. We're talking about mind optimizing. We're talking about spirit recalibration. Why am I so excited to be here? But I'm excited to be here because it's the unknown. What question? What challenge? What will I get out of this? What will you get out of this? I'm excited to be here. Anyways, 30 to 45 minutes. We've got a proverb today. See, we've got a proverb, and there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Did I lose? No, I didn't. Got to have my notes, right? Some kind of a notes. Did I lose $1 million, or did I lose several millions of dollars? We're going to talk about the benefits of losing. The benefits of losing due to problem gambling. We're going to talk a little bit about that. By the way, gambling's a lie. So welcome. You got an answer, you got a solution, you got an observation, you got a question. There is a scrolling link there, but feel free to ask. Feel free to challenge me. I'm here to grow. I'm not, I want to be funny. I would like to be funny. Sure. Everybody likes comedy, man, right? But we're here for something. We're here to grow. We're here to know. We're here for something better. Are you guys with me on this live broadcast? I hope you are. So welcome, Emily, Rich, Sapani, evening. Good evening to you. Mark Cameroon and Bad Keith Gaming. I'm doing the wrong thing here. Let me get out the distraction. Yes, gambling is a big lie. Did I forget to say that gambling is a lie? Sometimes I forget to say that. Gambling is a lie. We're going to talk about that and more. Are you guys with me on this? Come on. We in this together, community members, tribesmen, soldiers, soldierettes. I don't know, maybe Facebook and LinkedIn are saying, what's going on here? Definitely. Good evening there. There we go. Mark Cameroon. Hey, man, just watching your videos right now. Right on, brother. You were live. What's your question today? Rich Sapani. Here we go. I like your energy. Hey, I like your energy too. So we're going to make this a fun time. Listen, friends, why are we here, right? Why are we here? We're going to talk about this here. Let me get into this. And Jim, it's time. There we go. Okay. We're done with the sound. I thought I was. There we go. I got to read a proverb before we go forward. But before we do that, I want to read a proverb out of my book here. Good soldiers. What are the values of a good soldier? And I got a clip. I believe I have a clip that I'm going to be sharing in a few minutes. Just a little clip. This time is going to go by very quickly. Let me see if I can say what I really want to say. There's opportunities all around us. Okay? There's opportunities all around us. It is your responsibility to make sure that you see these opportunities. It's your responsibility. Nobody can help you. We can share information, but nobody can open your eyes. You have to be kind of like looking. You have to be hungry. You have to be kind of like, on the movement for this kind of stuff. What are the values of a good soldier? Freedom and courage. Freedom and courage. Freedom is what makes us fight, and courage is what keeps us from running away. Roger Nye, The Challenge of Command. If we're not fighting, then you're not free, right? Because freedom is what makes us fight. Or do we fight for freedom? Or do we fight because we're free? How about running away? That's an indication of no courage. Running away is an indication of no courage, right? Either no courage, N-O, or no courage, K-N-O-W. Which one would you prefer? N-O, courage, or K-N-O-W, courage? It's a matter of choice, folks. I'm really excited to listen to Earl Nightingale in a few minutes before the broadcast is over. I'm really, really excited to hear. I really enjoy. Earl Nightingale has made a big impact in my life, really big impact. Just listening to the audio many times over. All right, so I think I can make money. I think I can make money. I think I can make money. If you say that enough, you'll believe it. I think I can make money. How about I'm going to find a plan that's going to help me generate income. I'm going to find a plan that's going to help me generate income. Doesn't that sound like a better phrase to repeat to yourself? There we go. All right. It's not a charity or a gift either. We have to pay their huge properties and overhead, right? In other words, you got to pay the piper. In one way or another, you got to pay the piper. By the way, did I remember to say this, that gambling is a lie? Gambling is a lie. What kind of a lie? It's a destructive lie. I was talking about this earlier. We make excuses. You know what excuses are like? Excuses are like you getting into a little boat and going out to the middle of an ocean and getting dumped overboard in the middle of a shark frenzy feed. White sharks, tiger sharks, hammerheads, they're feeding, right? They're feeding in the water, right? It's a frenzy. And you're going to get in a little boat and go right there in that area and say, hey, Captain, throw me overboard. That's like making excuses. That's what excuses do to us, man. Really. It's like we're being thrown overboard to the shark frenzy feed. And I've never experienced being thrown into a shark frenzy feed. I probably can imagine that it's going to be painful and there's going to be a lot of blood there. So figuratively, physically, I'm probably sure you would not want that either, right? Physically, come on, getting into a boat, Santos, and being thrown overboard. But that's what we do figuratively with excuses. Exactly. We're throwing ourselves into the sharks, into the frenzy of feeding. And what are we losing there, right? I'm talking figuratively here. What do we lose when we get thrown into that feeding frenzy of sharks, that gambling cycle, that gambling addiction, that lottery? Paying roosters with those little sharp knives on the edge of their feet, or even watching dogs. It's just crazy. Gambling has gotten crazy. Gambling has gotten crazy. Let me read a proverb here. We've got, I'm betting on myself from now on. I'm gambling on me, my faith in search of peace. There we go. Peace. I send you peace. I send you peace and joy. I send you, who's receiving? You think, Santos, this seems so silly sometimes, some of the things you do. It's kind of funny. Well, I'm trying to be funny, right? A little bit. But if you have something, you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give to somebody else what you don't have. If you have peace, you can give peace. If you have joy, you can give joy. So I send you peace. I send you joy. Receive it. Receive it. It's just the imagination. It's just The mind receiving these things and bringing them into your life and it's like a game. It's like a game that we play on this planet. And the better that you get at the game, the more fun you have. Listen, we're all going to die. At one point or another, we're all going to die. We're not immune to an accident, right? We've seen some weird things in this world. I still got all my limbs. Do you? You got all your limbs? But man, I've seen some weird things. In fact, I had an individual who happens to be, I think he's still one of my clients. I haven't visited him for a long time. He ran over his foot with a lawnmower and he took off all of his toes. Weird things happen, my friends. We're not immune to it. All right, let's get into this real quick because time is going right along. First Peter. Don't worry, I'm not going to preach to you. Not going to try to get you to church because I don't believe in the church age. I believe in the church age being over today. I don't go to church. I will not step foot in the church, but I do read the King James Proverbs, okay? So let me get into this before you judge me. I'm just joking. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour. Listen to that. Now, this is a spiritual book, but it says that the devil is out there seeking whom he may devour. The devil could be that gambling. The devil could be something else that you're gambling with your life. That you could be driving a car with 3 ball tires. I know people that do that. They're gambling. Anyhow, I'm going overboard with that one. But we're going to talk a little bit about money here too, right? I actually thought that I lost $1 million, but when in my gambling 32 plus years, I've actually lost way more than $1 million. $1 is tied into $100. $100 is tied into $1,000. $1,000 is tied into several thousands of dollars, right? The big numbers. How does that work? Well, every time that you spend money, that's money that could have been invested. Or your time, right? You spend 8 hours in the casino. Imagine what you could have done with 8 hours. Well, that's money. That's time, right? Time is like money. It's a bartering tool. You can barter with time. You can barter with money. The only thing between money and time is that you can't recycle time. You can recycle money, but you can't recycle time. Once your time's gone, it's done. You can't recycle it. There's nothing, you can't bring plastic in. You can't bring aluminum cans in and try to glass bottles and stuff and try to recycle your time, right? It doesn't work. But imagine the thousands. My friend, I'm talking to somebody here. If you're losing $3,000 a month in gambling or $5,000 a month in gambling, multiply that many times over because you are losing bank. You're losing more than $3,000. And think about this for a moment. I want to look at the questions that I have here. What's important in your life? What's something important that you're kind of on the verge of losing if you haven't lost it already? For me, it was like peace of mind. I had some form of peace of mind, but it wasn't good. Imagine losing your peace of mind completely due to gambling or because you bought $300 or $400 of lottery scratcher tickets a month for the last 6 months. Imagine losing your peace of mind. You don't want to work anymore. You don't want to get up anymore. You don't want to, you don't even know what you want to do except feed the cycle, right? Feed the cycle. Gambling's a lie. So I didn't lose $1 million. I lost way more than $1 million. I was thinking about that today. It really hit me hard. Wow, man, 5,000 or 10,000 that I could have invested into a small business and multiplied, right? You could take $10,000 and multiply it many times over if you just have the right mind, right? But unfortunately, the devil goes about roaring as a lion, seeking whom he may devour. Wow, we're getting into this one. By the way, thank you. Shout out to LinkedIn, Facebook. I want to thank all of you guys that are supporting this mission, this community of mind optimization. And I'm in it for the long haul. I don't know about you guys, but I want to transform not just my gambling life, which I've already done, but I want to impact a lot of many areas. It's like I want to see what I can pull from within me. It's scary. It's unknown. At times it's very well, it's frightening, right? Because it's the unknown. You're pulling stuff from inside yourself that it's like you've gone into a laboratory and you're tinkering around in there and you're finding different things all the time. I don't know if you experience that. I do. I feel like I'm a laboratory and I'm just finding things, opportunities and gifts and ways to just do things better to help my community, help not just my online community, but my community when I go out into the city. It's like a big garden, right? The city's like a big garden and you're planting seeds. If you're a salesman or whatever you are, whatever you do part-time, other than gambling, right? Because gambling's a lie. You're planting seed and there's going to be a harvest. There's going to be a crop of some kind if you're not experiencing the crops that you've been planting over the last 6 months or the last 5 years or whatever. It could be harvest time for you. You could be reaping some really bad things, and now it's time to really start looking at the roots and pulling up the weeds and start preparing for a new year. We're going to be going into the new year pretty soon. What's your new year look like for you? Does it look promising or does it look like more of the same? We got to confront these things, my friend. Either that or you're just being thrown into the frenzy. You're being thrown into that shark frenzy. And can you imagine being thrown physically you wouldn't last. Right? One of your legs get chopped off. You're screaming. The sharks can't do anything. They can't hear you. They're just feeding on you. That's what gambling does, man. Gambling is feeding on you, man. Taking a chunk here, chunk there. You're bleeding, right? Attracting more sharks. Dangerous. It might think of this like this, but in reality, that's what's happening because people, it's death. It is death. Gambling's a lie. The question is, will I keep this insane, soul-stealing, mind-crushing, spirit-deadening exercise? Because that's what it is. It's a soul-stealing, mind-crushing, spirit-deadening exercise. Gambling is. All right, let me see. Patrick, congratulations on your commitment to your continued progress. Thank you for sharing that. Congratulations on your continued commitment to your progress. Yeah. Yeah, let me see, Jim. But do we allow that to drive us crazy, those numbers, those thoughts of losing that? Well, that's the problem. You want to keep yourself. See, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, right? The goal is to have a sound mind. Listen, if you don't have a sound mind, that needs to be your goal. If you do not have a sound mind, it needs to be your goal. I'm going to be playing a clip here in a little bit. I believe you'll enjoy it. I've learned so much from Earl Nightingale. He's been one of the greatest digital teachers in my life. We're going to play a clip here. I hope you guys will hang around for just another few minutes. We're not going to be here too long, maybe another 20 minutes or so. And I'm doing my best to answer your questions. I know I'm preaching. I'm fired up. My wife bought me a cup of coffee. I had a cup of coffee earlier. We tried to fly the drone in the park. That didn't work well. I went to go visit my dad. He was still in bed. But it's been a great day. So my wife buys me another cup of coffee. Ah, don't worry. It's decaffeinated. I said, every cup of coffee has caffeine in it. She goes, it's decaffeinated. I said, all right. Couple of sips later, I felt elevated. I said, I told you it has caffeine in it. I'm sensitive to caffeine. So please forgive me if I'm preaching hard on you guys today. I see people coming on and off. On a serious note, I'm a free man. Honestly, I don't give a shit what people think of me. I really don't. I'm here because I want to face the challenge of coming here, because it's a little frightening to come here and show my pretty face in front of you, in front of the camera, to the whole world, and share my losses and share my winnings and try to inspire you on the other side. You know, that's challenging. I had to do 25 push-ups before I got on here, you know. Some deep breathing. It's all good, my family. It's all good. I hope you guys are learning something for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, and we'll be back here on Thursday too. I believe we'll be back here on Thursday around 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jim, what do we got with Jim here? We all need a trigger. Not a trigger finger, but we need a trigger for positive change. I think I found mine to be better focused. Right on. Share it. Put it on here. Let me see what you got. You found what? Did you get a breakthrough here? Share that. I want to see. You got a trigger for positive change? I think I found mine. All right. Share that, Jim. Thank you. There we go. Let me see. We got a question here. Questions. Is it essential to replace gambling? Yes. Yes, it is. With something that is just as fulfilling or exciting as the gambling desire was. Let me ask you guys a question. There's some gamblers on this broadcast. What one thing you could come up with that would help? What's one thing, an exercise? I'm not talking about lifting weights. I'm talking about a ritual, an experience that you can create. What is something that you can do that you believe can help you override that? Possibly. Do you have an idea, 1, 2, that you can put on a piece of paper? Don't worry how you're going to achieve it. If the mind can conceive it, that's what Napoleon Hill said. Dr. Maxwell Maltz said it. Anthony Robbins said it. Zig Ziglar says it. Coach Travis Brady says it. Coach Santos Rolon says it. If the mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. I learned that from Napoleon there. It's a good quote, but it's reality. I find myself repeating. Sometimes I find myself repeating, and it's got to be that somebody needs to hear that twice or 3 times. It's got to be, because I don't like repeating myself. I don't. You know, I find myself. Anyways, let me end there. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Let me know if something helps out here. Let me know in the comments. Santos, you just hit it. It helps. Or Santos, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're way off. You threw me into the feeding frenzy with the sharks, brother. I got to get a false leg, prosthetic, man. Come on. I don't want to do that, figuratively speaking. But you know, the truth is that friends, faithful are the wounds of a friend. Deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. You know, there's people that will be real nice to you. Nice. They'll pat you on the back. They'll give you a gift if you show up at the casino, you know. Little kiss, right? Little kiss from the enemy. Deceitful are the kisses of an enemy, but faithful are the wounds of a friend. I might offend a few of you guys on this program. I probably do. But I do that with good intention. I do that so that you'll heal fast. So that you don't have to get the wound somewhere else. Somewhere else it may be worse. At least you're getting a wound here that'll heal and help you produce growth. Does that make sense? That's why I'm here. I believe that's why I'm here. Yeah, you're all I need. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for supporting the mission. You know, everything that comes in, it goes back out to do the work. It really does. Uh, I wish I could get rich off donations. I'd spend more time online, probably. But I know that's not going to happen. But I think I don't know. Maybe it could happen, right? A bunch of donations comes in. I become a millionaire. I could be on here all the time. I probably wouldn't be because then you you probably wouldn't take advantage of me. He's on there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll see him on Sunday. Anyways, appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate you, Bad Keith Gaming. I don't know why Bad Keith Gaming. Anyways, that's your call handle. So how do you quiet the mind? Because my mind keeps telling me I had no idea what I'm doing. Well, my mind does the same thing to me every once in a while. It does. My mind will try to speak to me and remind me of things. What I do is I shut the mind down. I stop it in its tracks. That's how I overcame gambling, because the temptation, right? If you give into the temptation, you go do it. So I would wait for the temptation to come around the corner. I would tell myself, it's going to come. Santos, get ready for it because it's going to come. Something happens, boom, I get the trigger. I knew it was coming, and I punched it right between the eyes. I got it first. After so many punches, it's like now the temptation, I see it trying to hide, ducking around corners, trying to get me and stuff. But every time it pops its head, bam, I get it. And it's getting tired of getting popped between the eyes, so it doesn't come around as much. Triggers, temptations, stuff like that. I kind of turned it into a game, if you will. You could do the same thing. Just, next time, I know the trigger's coming, the call, right? The friend, oh yeah, man, boom, figuratively. If you want freedom, you're going to have to create some version of that for yourself. But talk to your mind. Talk to it. If you got to say something to yourself in front of people in order to quiet the thoughts, if that's what you need to do, then you got to do what you got to do, man. You cannot live in fear. You cannot live in the fact of like trying to please people. Sometimes we want to say something to ourselves or to somebody else, and we hold back because we're afraid of what that person might think, or what if they say something to what I said, and oh no, I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't want to, I'm not a person that likes to be a confronter. No, hogwash. You see what it says right up here? Let me see if I can see it. At the other side, right there. Can I get it? Right there. Excuses stop here. You got to wrap that around your spirit, my good friend. You got to wrap, why are we here? I'm here for mind optimization. Am I going to leave better than when I came? Yeah, I'm going to leave. You got to have that mindset. You know what? I'm going to go to Santos's video and I'm going to get something out of it, man. Something out of that video. I don't care if it's a 3-minute video. I'm going to get something out of Santos's video. Why does Santos get to have all the fun? I'm going to get some. This is what I do with videos like Earl Nightingale. By the way, I'm going to play it. I got to play that clip here. I got to get into that because we're almost done with the broadcast. And I'm just coffeeed up, man. I'm coffeeed up here. Poor self-esteem comes from not doing what we promised ourselves we would do. It eats away. Yeah, it eats away. Yeah. Oh, we'll talk more about mental states that we fall into maybe on the next broadcast. How it messes with like a little drill. It's like a little like the dentist drill, I hate those things. It's drilling into your teeth. It's like there's a little drill into your brain, man, just drilling in there. And it's causing damage. It's a little drill, but it's in there, man. And it's drilling away. And eventually you're going to have a leak. Brains are going to fall out. They're going to leak out, man. And people don't think anymore. They can't stop the reason normally. And it's just the chase. Yeah. All right, let's get into this. Let me do this because we are going down. We're going to play a little bit of Earl Nightingale here. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to LinkedIn. They must think, I don't know what they're thinking. Hopefully they're let me see, share screen, Chrome tab. All right, let me see. I think we've got this set up here where we can.
All right, you've got the formula. As you think about it, its meaning will become clearer to you. With the formula, there are 2 rules which must be applied to properly use it. This formula, together with the 2 rules, is your recipe or your roadmap to earning all the money you really want. Now let's take a look at item number 2 on your checklist. And I'm serious about you putting this checklist on your mirror. You'll notice it's pressure sensitive. Item number 2, the gold mine. The Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Archibald MacLeish, in his play The Secret of Freedom, wrote, "The only thing about a man that is a man is his mind. Everything else you can find in a pig or a horse." Strong words, aren't they? But as long as you live, you'll never hear a truer statement. The key to every human being's success lies in his mind, the gold mine between his ears. One idea can make you rich. A lot of good ideas can move you steadily upward in the work you do, and ideas are free. Now just think, there's nothing now being done commercially that will not be done better, much better in the years ahead. Next year's homes and most of what's in them will be better than this year's. Next year's cars will be better. Next year's manufacturing, distributing, marketing, and selling and advertising should be better. Nothing is now being done as well as it must be done in the future. And every innovation, every new improvement will be somebody's brainchild. Now, what's your specialty? How many good ideas have you come up with during the past year? If you continue on as you have in the past, where will you be and what will you be earning, say, a year from now, 5 years from now? Every day of our lives, we walk or drive by more opportunity than we could develop in a lifetime, in 50 lifetimes. Back in the 20s, Sinclair Lewis wrote that you can kidnap a man, blindfold him, take him to any city in the country with a couple of notable exceptions, put him in a chair in the downtown area, take off his blindfold, and he could sit there a week and not be able to tell you what town he's in. The streets are all alike. The buildings are all alike. The businesses all look alike. This is still largely true today. The reason for this being that most businessmen in this country are playing a game called follow the follower. If a man goes into business, no matter what line it happens to be, the first thing he does is make certain that his place of business, outside and inside, looks exactly like every other place of business of that type in the country. Do you know why? It's because he's been playing copycat since he was a year old and does it without thinking about it. For the same reason kids dress alike in school. He wants to be one of the gang. He doesn't necessarily examine all the business establishments in his field and pattern his on the one outstanding example, the one that inspires him, the one that he can really believe in. He just does what everybody else in his business is doing, and by this simple process, he guarantees his own mediocrity. Whose drum are you marching to, if indeed you're marching to anyone's, and why? Remember, whatever you now do for a living will be done differently, quite differently a few years from now. Never in the history of mankind have the opportunities for all of us been so great. But the great majority of people will be the beneficiaries of progress, not those who bring it about. Which group are you going to belong to? If you want to be a contributor, not just a beneficiary, here's the first rule. It appears on your checklist as the gold mine. So, think. Think deliberately and with a purpose. Use the gold mine between your ears. Begin by thinking at a special time every day. Back during the Depression, a New York lumber dealer was growing rich while other lumber dealers were going broke. When asked how he did it, he said, "Every evening when I get home, I close myself up in a quiet room, sit in a comfortable chair, and ask myself, how will my business be conducted 10 years from now? Then I try to do it now." Instead of competing with every other lumber dealer, which is what they were doing, he was creating. He was doing the very thing man was designed to do, the very thing man does best. A company growing at the rate of 10% a year will double its size in less than 8 years. But a man can improve his effectiveness 50% or 100% a year or more. The experts tell us that every one of us has within him deep reservoirs of ability, even genius, that he habitually fails to use. Well, let's begin now to reach into these deep, rich areas of pure net profit and use more of our real abilities. Let's think. Here's the best way I've found to make yourself think. Start getting up a little earlier than you're accustomed to. Right off the bat, this gives you extra time that 95% of the men in this country are not using at all. 1 hour earlier a day gives you 6.5 extra 40-hour weeks a year. But at this time in the morning, take a refreshing shower, dress, get yourself a fresh hot cup of coffee if you're a coffee man, and then sit down to a clean sheet of paper. At the top of the paper, write your financial goal. Now, this is the amount of money per year you intend to earn soon. Incidentally, you might like to keep this to yourself too. It's nobody's business but yours. Then, start to think. Think about your goal and what it'll mean to you and your family. Then see how many ideas you can come up with to help you reach that goal. Ideas to improve what you now do for a living. Ways of increasing your contribution to match your income goal. You know, jobs don't have futures. People do.
All right. We're going to end. Jobs don't have futures, huh? People do. That's interesting. Anyways, we're coming down to the end here. We got to land this Cessna, or actually, I like the helicopter better. It lands on the life flight helicopter. That's what we're all on, the life flight helicopter. It's getting ready to land. You know, we've been rescued a little bit here. Hopefully we've been optimized. Are you ready for Monday? Are you ready for Tuesday? Are you ready for Wednesday? Of course, those days aren't here yet, but you have to be. You must be ready. You must be ready now. Well, Santos, how do you do that? My life is in shambles. You got to start a plan. You got to get something on paper. You got to get a step, right? One step. What is it? Inch by inch, it's a cinch, right? You got one step. Imagine if you didn't take that one step. Well, you're not going to be able to take the next step. You got to take one step, right? Next thing you know, you're not walking anymore, but you're running. Man, Santos, it's not as hard as anymore. You know what I'm saying? Santos, I don't even think about gambling anymore. Hey, Santos, man, high five. I killed it. I killed it. I killed it. Whatever it is, gambling. Maybe you want to just generate more money. I know Earl was talking about generating more money. I believe that there's a strong possibility that maybe one of the reasons why you're gambling is because you want to generate more money. That was one of my reasons. That's an easy one to overcome, right? You want to generate more money. The casino isn't the place to do it. You could do it at your job. You could rise up the ranks within your job. You can expand your business if you get the proper ingredients, the proper nourishments in there in the soil of your business, right? You need some miracle grow. You got to find what is your miracle grow in order for your business, whatever it is that you want to do. You start it now. Start it today, right here. Let this this community, let this live, this broadcast, let this broadcast be the best one for you. Can you imagine? You come back here and say, Santos, I made a decision on Sunday. You challenged us to make a decision, and I made that broadcast my launching pad. And now I'm doing this, or now I'm doing this other thing, And if you get that, right, invite other people to come into this community. We get more help. We get more support. The more that you give, let me share this with you. The more that you give of yourself, the faster that your recovery will come. The more that you give of your money, of your time, of your talent, the faster your recovery will come. Keep that in mind. That's my call to action here. I'm done. I got one more. Sacrifices. America was not built on fear. America was built on courage, on imagination. Imagination. That's what we talk about on this broadcast. Some people might think I'm knucking futs, crazy. I don't care. I wake up real good. I got peace of mind, and I go to sleep at night good, knowing that I'm doing good, helping people along the way. On imagination and unbeatable determination. Oh, I heard my friend Danny in an email that I read the other day. He said, once you make up your mind that you are going to be and have unbeatable determination, you're going to knock on the doors. You're going to ask, right? Ask, seek, and knock. If you ask, you shall receive. If you knock, the door shall be opened. And if you seek, you shall find. Of course, that's a biblical proverb, but it works well in life also. If you stay in bed, if the body doesn't get in motion, the body, right? No motion, it doesn't stay in motion. You got to get yourself moving. You must get yourself moving out of that comfort zone that you're in. All right. Well, thank you, Facebook. I see the numbers dwindling down. We've got about 2 or 3 minutes left on this broadcast. It's good to think. It's good to be quiet. It's good to breathe. Have peace. Just have a couple minutes of peace or whatever. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate the support, Jim. And was I able to answer, let me see, from moment to moment? Bad Keith Gaming, let me see. Want to make sure physical movement and activity helps our emotions and feelings get going on a positive. I believe in that. Okay, I am ready. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're in it together. You guys are not alone. You might feel alone at times. If you're alone, if you feel alone, it's because you're not spending enough time in the community and you're not engaging your tools. That's why. Exercise is a great positive momentum builder. It is. It is. There we go. I've decided I love myself and love life more than gambling addiction. You got to remind yourself of that. You got to, it reminds me of the anger management clip. Oh, I got to play it. Okay. Last time I said I was going to play it and I didn't, but I'm going to play it this time. Before I leave, let me get that on there. All right. But this is what I got to say. Just this 30 seconds here. Anger. Let me see if I can find the anger management clip of who was that guy? Adam Sandler. Let me see. I said this to one of my friends today here. Let me see if I can get the. Let me see. Here it is. All right. Almost there. Almost there. Let me see if I can get this guy whipped up here real quick, and then we'll just finish up the broadcast pretty soon. Let me see. Okay. Now let me remove that share. We got people dropping off and video file. Wait a minute. Not remove. Okay, remove. Stop screen. Okay, share. Share screen. Here we go. Chrome tab. This is what you got to do, man.
Listen to the ball game. Don't worry, Dr. B. It's just a regular season game, not that important. See, Iverson just missed a layup at the buzzer. Sixers lose. Who gives a crap, huh? I mean, it's just a silly game anyways. Oh, the anger sharks are swimming.
It's what the gambler must do to get rid of.
You gotta dump that shit. You gotta dump that shit. Oh. Stay with me. Now repeat after me. Who?
All right, my friends. That's what needs to happen when it comes to gambling. You got to dunk that shit. You got to dunk that. You got to get rid of it. You got to dunk it. Anyways, I'm done. It's been a wonderful evening. Ladies and gentlemen, community members, tribe members, soldiers of self-mastery, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me here. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this. If you didn't, you wasted your time. You wasted your time. And you could have been better off doing something else. If you didn't waste your time, you got something out of this, you're going to walk away and you're going to challenge yourself to become the very best. And you're going to remember that tomorrow when you go out, wherever, you step into your car, you go out in your house, you go out into the neighborhood, that's the garden. You're planting seeds into the garden of life. and planting seeds into your own garden right here. This is your own garden. The seeds you're planting are going to produce a harvest in the weeks ahead, in the months ahead. What is it that you want? What kind of a harvest are you going to be looking for? The seed planting begins today, my friends. It starts here. I challenge you to begin planting good seed. All right. We're done. Let me see, Santos, when you say sound mind means you're at peace. Sound minds means that you're confident. It means that you have courage, that you're willing to take the risks, even though something might not be so evident. You know, in life, you can start a business. You don't know 100% if it's going to succeed or fail, right? You can believe it will. As long as you do the right things, most likely it will succeed. But there's always going to be failure and things around you that you have no power over. So a sound mind can see through all of these things and just maintain peace and just be able to execute like a soldier, right? A soldier, you can't send a soldier to battle if his mind isn't right. So that's what a sound mind is. It's a sound mind. It's a good mind. It's a smart mind. Hopefully that makes sense. I believe it does. All right. Mark, Jim, from Moment to Moment, Bad Keith Gaming, Mark Cameroon, Oscar, Abazu, and after 45 days, I thought, didn't I read a comment about you having, or maybe it was somebody else. I thought I read a comment about Oscar having a struggle there. 45 days. I hope and pray for you, my friend. Yeah, I don't like putting people on the spot, but I read a lot of comments. You guys are posting comments. Be careful what you're posting, because if you're saying that you're struggling one day and then another day you're winning and it's confusing, not good for you. So I hope the best for you there. I hope the best. But, again, no excuses. As I said right here, no excuses. And it does me no good to lie to you or sugarcoat and say, yeah, no. You know what? When you come to this community, I truly want to help you if you want to help yourself. That's what this is about, because, a lot of people come here bleeding. You're bleeding. And if you're bleeding, I'm bleeding. I need help. Don't try to cover it up. If you're bleeding, eventually the blood's going to be shown. People are going to see the blood, right? You can even smell blood. Blood has an odor to it if it stays around too long. All right, my friends, is there anything else? Nope. Thursday coming up, 8:00. I will see you guys at the top on the inside on my very next one. Making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. Be your hero. Be your hero. Be your hero. How can I feel good about myself? What can I do? Come to the community, watch a couple of videos, take some notes, and think about what you hear. That'll help you feel good about yourself. See, it's not about me. It's about what I'm saying that will trigger ideas in your mind. You need to be around people that can trigger good ideas. That's important. Most of the time, we're around people that trigger bad ideas. All right, I'll see you guys at the top on the inside on my next one. Making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top in spite of and because, strength and peace. The hero.